In today's session, we will discuss about locators and various locator strategies and how to use locators in Selenium. Okay, so let's first discuss about what is a locator. Okay, you can say locator is a command which tells us Selenium to perform the operations on element. Okay, or you can say web element. Uh, like you can take any example. Let's suppose on Chrome browser we are opening the Gmail website, okay, and you have to click on sign in button. So button on that web page is called element, okay. Selenium perform operations on these elements. Let me open one website and I'm launching yahoo.com. So on this site all the elements like this button and this sign in link, okay, and this bell button and mail button, these all elements are called web elements, okay. So Selenium can perform operations on these elements. And what can be the operations what can be the various operations, okay, like click operation, okay, send keys. If we have to type in the search box, like I want to search uh, Google Map, okay. So send keys method used to type in this text box, okay, and checkbox click. And if you have some checkbox here, you can click on that, okay. And if you want to click on this link, you can click that. And if you want to scroll down, you can scroll down. So all the operations can be performed on web browser, okay. And if you want to refresh this web page, you can do that in Selenium, okay. So all the operations which you do manually on browser, that can be achieved by Selenium also, okay. Now the question is, if Selenium has to perform these operations, that Selenium has to click on this element, okay. How Selenium will do that? Selenium will find this element on the web page and then perform the operation. Let's suppose I have to click on the sign in button, okay. So Selenium needs something, right? So Selenium needs an identity of this element, okay. And identity is used to perform operation on this element, okay. Now these identities are called locators. In Selenium, locators are like commands which are used to find this element on the page and perform operations, okay. So let's discuss about various different locator strategies in Selenium. uh, you can say locator strategies, okay. The very first is id, okay. This command is used to perform uh, perform operation on element by finding element id, okay. Find the element by class is used to by.id, and here you will pass element id, okay. And this command is used to find the element, and once you find the element, then you can perform click operation, okay, like that. Similarly, id is the first locator strategy, and the second is name strategy, okay. You can perform operations by finding element by name, find element, okay, and by dot name, okay. And here you can type element name, and you can perform if this is a text box, okay, and you want to, like on Gmail site you enter email address, right? That is called text box. You can use this send keys, and I can enter my email ID as lbc@gmail.com, okay. Third strategy is class name. You can use class name to find the element. Find element by dot class name, and here you will pass the class name, element class name, and you can perform click operation also or send keys also, okay. Fourth strategy is by dot tag name, okay. So you will use like that, driver dot find element by dot tag name, and here you will pass element tag name and perform dot click operation. Okay, and next element is next locator strategy is by dot xpath. Okay, so you can use it like driver dot find element by dot xpath element xpath. Okay, dot click, and sixth is by dot css selector. Okay, you can use it driver dot find element by dot css. Okay, you can pass element css selector. Okay, you can perform click operation or any operation. Okay, and seventh strategy is by dot link text, and you can pass driver dot find element by dot link text. Okay, let's suppose like sign in button. Okay, in sign in button we have link like this. Okay, and perform click operation. And the last strategy is partial link text. Sorry, it was not test, it's link text. It's a typo error. And the last strategy is partial link text. Okay, you can use this like this: driver dot find element by dot partial link text. Okay, and element partial link text is kind of substring. Okay, element text link text. Okay, dot click. So these are major 8 strategies to find the locators in Selenium. Okay, ID, name, class name, sorry, tag name. Okay, xpath, css selector, link text, and partial link text. In every locator strategy there are different ways to find the element. Okay, like in xpath you have absolute xpath, you have a relative xpath. Okay, we will learn about these in detail in next sessions. Okay, in css we have different ways. Okay, so link text is used to if you have some link. Okay, you have some anchor tag on your browser, you can directly use this element to perform the operation. Okay, and similarly partial link text, if like let's suppose sign in. Okay, there is one link on your web page, sign in. Now you can perform click by just typing sign here. Okay, you can just type the substring here, it will work fine. So these are the major 8 strategies. Before just jumping to the theory of this part, let me show you one practical demo so that you can try it. Okay, and implement your first Selenium script. Okay, so let me launch our Selenium project. You know that we created this project in our last session. Okay, so we will use Chrome browser to perform automation right now. Okay, and we will automate some website, any website. Okay, and we will try to log in into that site. Okay, so let's pick any website. Let's pick Stack Overflow. Okay, I will just get one class here, new class, and automate login scenario, automate Stack Overflow. Okay, click on finish. So let me create one new test case here, test. Okay, and name it as public void login scenario. Okay, and so in this scenario I have to create one driver of Chromedriver, because we are going to use Chrome browser. You can use Firefox browser if you want to use. Okay, I'm just picking Chrome browser. Chromedriver. Okay, and you know that we have to set path of Chromedriver.exe that we have seen in last sessions. If you want to explore it more, you are not aware about how to set the Chromedriver.exe path, you can visit my previous sessions. System dot set property. Okay, and here I will pass webdriver dot driver. Okay, and here I will pass the path of Chromedriver. Let me find that in C driver Selenium Chromedriver. This is the path of Chromedriver. Okay, sorry, I have to copy the path. Okay, I have copied the path, paste it here. Okay, so here we are setting the path of Chromedriver.exe, and here we are creating instance of Chromedriver. Now we have to launch browser and open Stack Overflow website. I will just type URL of Stack Overflow. Okay, stackoverflow.com. Okay, now till now we don't need any locator strategy. Okay, let's launch it on browser. Stack Overflow. Now I will show you how to find the elements. Okay, how to find the locators on browser. So this is the default UI of Stack Overflow. Okay, now we have to click on this login button. Okay, you can right click on this element. Okay, there is one option, click on inspect and have a look. Is blue area is showing the element in the DOM. Okay, this is all DOM. Okay, we will discuss about DOM in coming sessions. Okay, for right now just focus on finding the locators. Okay, locators for elements. So this is showing us anchor tag. Anchor tag is used for just putting links on your web page. Okay, so if you are having a anchor tag, and then directly you can use link text. Okay, I have shown you few locator strategies: ID, name, okay, class name, tag name, XPath, CS selector, okay, link text. Okay, this is for anchor tag with link text. Okay, now we are having this element anchor tag, and link text is login. Okay, so we can directly use this locator. Let me type on Eclipse. So we can use like the driver dot find element, and we will use by class dot link text. Okay, now we will pass the link text here. What it is saying, log space in. Okay, so we'll type here. Now this code will find the element. Okay, now what we want to perform, we want to perform click on this element. Okay, so we will perform click operation. Okay, so now we have from the click on login button. Okay, let me click on this. We have to enter the email here. Okay, so we have to click on this text box, and we have to enter the email ID. Okay, so we need to find the locator for this element. Just right click on this element and click on inspect. Okay, you can maximize this window. Have a look. A blue area is highlighting this element. Okay, so here in this element is showing input tag. Okay, class is equal to s hyphen input, ID is equal to email. Okay, guys, if you are having ID in your locator, okay, so that is the best locator for Selenium. Okay, if you are getting ID in your locator, just use ID. Okay, so I will use ID. Okay, like I told you, we have various locator strategies by .id. Okay, you can use this ID. Okay, and if you want to use by .name, then you can use this name attribute. Okay, So we will use id here. So I will just modify the script. Driver.find element, okay, by.id, and pass the id here. So our id is, we can copy from here, email, okay. I will paste here email, and we have found the element, okay. Now what we want to perform here, we want to enter the text in this element like this, okay. Like this is my email id, okay. So I want to perform this operation. So to enter the text in a text box, Selenium has send keys method, okay. Send keys. So the first part of this line will find the element with the locator strategy email, okay. And once element is found, send keys method is used to enter the text in that text box, okay. So I am entering here my email id 23490@gmail.com, okay. Now the next element is, we have entered the email id. Now we have to enter the password here. So again we will click on this element, and we will right click on this element and click on inspect. So this is the element for password field, and again we will just look into the attributes of this field. Is showing class attribute, type attribute, and autocomplete, name, and id, okay. So previously we used id. Till now we have used link text locator, id locator, okay. And let me show you the list of locators. We have used this one, okay, and we have used this one, and now we will try to use the remaining ones, okay. So I will use name, by.name, okay. So it's having name attribute, okay. So I will use this field. Let me modify the script. Driver dot find element and by dot name, okay. So in this I have to pass the value of this name attribute. So name was password. So I will copy this value and paste here. And again, this is a text box. I have to enter my password here. To enter text into text box, we have send keys method in Selenium, okay. So I will use send keys. Guys, here if you want to automate on your machine, you can just pass like your password, what is it, okay. Like if your password is 1234, like that, okay. But I am saving my password in this credential file, so that for security purpose, okay. So I will just access password from this class, okay. So I will just enter credential dot password, okay. If we are using at your machine, you can directly pass password here, okay. You can directly just write your password in double quotes, okay. So we have entered email here, we have entered password here. Now we have to click on this login button, okay. So let's right click on this element and click on inspect. So guys, it's saying this is a button, okay. The class is this, okay. id is equal to submit button, okay, and name is equal to submit button, okay. So we will use id here, submit button, okay. So we'll click driver dot find element by dot id, okay, pass the id here, and now on this page, on login button, we have to perform click operation, okay. So I will just perform click operation, okay. So let's run the script till now, okay, and see the impact, okay. Let me close all the browsers. I am putting just thread.sleep here to see that it's launching Stack Overflow website. Clicking on login button, and then it will enter email ID, then it will enter password, and click on login button. Okay, so till now just run this script. I'm just putting hardcode value of 20 seconds. Okay, and click on this, add throw exception. Okay, and we will close the browser after 20 seconds. So let's run this automate Stack Overflow class. Right click on this class, click on run as, click on testng. Guys, have a look. Right now I'm not having any Chrome browser launch. Click on testng.test. So now it will launch Chrome browser. Open Stack Overflow site. Yeah, it's clicking on login button, entering user and password. Have a look. So we have successfully logged in into Stack Overflow website. Okay. So we have is waiting for 20 seconds. Have a look. We have successfully entered email ID and password field and clicked on login button. Okay. Now when you perform manual testing, or you have some test cases, right? Like a valid test case. We have entered valid email ID, valid password, right? Then click on login button. Okay, and login should be successful. Now in Selenium, how will you validate that login is successful? Okay, so let me launch the Chrome browser again. And click on sign in button. Sorry, let me launch Stack Overflow. Click on login. Let me enter my email ID and enter my password. And how will you verify that you have successfully logged in? Okay, so you can check the visibility of any element that is on home page. Okay, you can check the visibility of ask question. Okay, and you can check the visibility of this interesting button or any element like this products. Okay, and which is just visible on the home page, not on the lower screen, which is on home page. Okay, like these buttons. Okay, this button or this button. So we will click on this ask question button, and let me get the link. So again, this is anchor tag. We can directly use the link text tag. Okay, locator. So let me perform driver dot find element by dot link text. Okay, ask question, and we have to perform click operation. Okay, now once we click on this element, it will move to this page. Okay, now how will you validate that we are on right page? Okay, so we can get the title of this page. Title of this page is ask a question Stack Overflow. Okay, so you can just get the title of this page by this command driver dot get title. Okay, so this is method used to get the title of your web page. Okay, this is the title of your web page, ask a question, and this method of Selenium is used to get the title of this page. Okay, we can save this title to string title is equal to driver.getTitle. Okay, we have got the title here. Now we have to validate the title. Okay, if we are getting this expected title here or not. Okay, so we will just use if title. Okay, dot contains. I will use not here. We are not containing title. Okay, so we will use search. Okay, dot field, and you can pass here any message. Okay, not expected title. Okay, So this is your complete scenario, which is performing a login operation and verifying that after clicking on ask a question button on Stack Overflow, we are redirecting to the ask a question page. Okay, so let me execute this scenario. I will show you two scenarios. First is positive scenario. We are validating whether okay, I forgot to add text here. Okay, so I was talking about two scenarios. Okay, uh, let me tell you. Scenario one is enter email ID and password, and click on login button and click on ask question. Validation point is title of the page should be ask a question. Okay, this is a positive scenario. Okay, and we will create a negative scenario for the same. Okay, scenario 2, negative scenario, in which we explicitly fail the test case. Okay, uh, we will just perform the same operation, and we will just change the validation point. Okay, in the validation point we will check, we will just remove the ask. Okay, we will just remove the ask and put something else there. Okay, so in the scenario 2 it should fail. Okay, or you can do one thing, in the negative scenario, so this is the positive scenario. Okay, now in the negative scenario, we will perform enter email and password. Okay, click on login button. Okay, and click on ask button. We will not perform click operation. Okay, we will comment that, and after that we will validate that by the title of the page should be ask a question. Okay, in this case it should fail because title should be something else, right? So let's perform these operations. First of all, we will just run the positive scenario. Okay, so in this we are launching Stack Overflow site, clicking on login button, entering email, entering password, clicking on login button. Okay, click on ask question, and then get the title of page and verifying that title contains ask a question. Okay, so let's run this scenario. Right click on this file and click on run as test, and this test. Have a look. It's launching Chrome browser, opening stackoverflow.com and entering email ID and password, clicking on login button, click on ask question. Have a look. We have successfully tested one scenario. Everything was right. We clicked on login button, ask question button, and we directed to ask a question page. We got the title here. Okay, and we verified that a title contains ask a question. Okay, for debugging purpose you can just print these outputs in console. Okay, you can use system.out.println. Okay, just you can print title on your console to check that whether it's getting the right text or not. Okay, let me run the scenario again. Run as yeah, this one. Click on test and test. It will click on login page and performing login. So have a look. So in this it is showing you title. Okay, this was the title of the page. It's printing title on this console. Okay, title is equal to ask a question and Stack Overflow. Now we have tested the positive scenario. Let's try negative scenario. Okay, in this case we will not click on ask question button. Okay, so we have commented this command. If you want to not perform any operation on your browser, you can comment that command in Selenium using two slashes. Okay, this is called single line command, and you can perform multi-line command also. uh, we will also cover a single command, how to do commands in Selenium IDE for Java language. Okay, so right now we are just skipping ask question button. Okay, we will not click on ask question button. In this case it should fail. Okay, because we are expecting title ask a question, but we are not clicking on ask question, so we will not redirect it to ask a question page. Let's run this scenario and see the results. Run as Selenium test and the test. So it's launching Chrome browser and performing login. Right now we are not performing any operation on ask question. Test case would fail. Okay, have a look. So it failed. It's saying total test run 1, failed 1. Okay, and let's read the error message. It's saying not expected title. Okay, title coming is Stack Overflow. We are developers learn, share and build careers. So this is the home page of Stack Overflow. Okay, so but we were expecting ask a question title of the web page, which is not visible. Okay, because we have not clicked on uh, ask a question page. Okay, so in this way you can start writing your scripts. Just pick any website, Gmail website, yahoo.com, Stack Overflow, Facebook, any website. Okay, and you can start finding the elements like this as I showed you, and you perform click operations, send keys, and you can use these assert operations to pass or fail the test case. Okay, but one thing to notice here, please don't share your passwords in your script. Okay, so that later on it should not be used by someone else. Okay, if you are using password in your script, uh, delete the passwords after using it. Okay, don't keep it here. So I'm not in my script, I'm not putting my password here. I'm just putting my password in this credential file so that it's not visible in the recording. Okay, guys, that's the simple and first scenario of Selenium WebDriver. It's a complete scenario, you can say complete test case. I showed you two test cases. One is positive scenario and second is negative scenario. Okay, so that's all for today, and thank you.